Hello everybody, welcome back for some StarCraft 2 action. We're in the playoffs. We got Lambo going up against Serral, the GOAT himself, in the round of, I think, 8 of the Homestory Cup 24. It's a Zerg versus Zerg, with Lambo going for a pretty gosh darn fast hatchery here. He went for the overhatch. He doesn't make a second overlord. Instead, he doesn't extract the trick, goes up to 15 and then makes a hatchery. Interesting. Why would he do that build here? I'm not sure what the advantages are of that build, but we might find out during this game. Now, we did not see Lambo play any Zerg just yet in this tournament. He got second in his group, without any other Zerg being present in that group, whereas Serral got first place in his group, and he managed to topple a laser in his group. I think with a clean 2-0. So we haven't seen anything, or haven't seen any of Lambo's Zerg versus Zerg in this tournament yet. So this is the first time that he will reveal his strategies. Which, of course, each player tries to reinvent themselves or theirselves in some capacity between every tournament. Because that's when you have the biggest chance to revamp something in your playstyle. Because, of course, during a tournament, it's mostly just about execution and adapting a little bit to the tournament meta. But the real work is done outside of the tournament. Serral pulls only one drone, actually leaves 2 in gas here. Never mind, only leaves 1 in gas. After he sees the creep here. Interesting. Look at this, you can see the creep and now he sees more creep. Nice. Third base going down for Serral. What is Lambo doing here? Getting a pretty quick second gas, getting a lair. Is this going to be a roach attack, or is it going to be 2-base meta? I'm a big fan of 2-basing myself in Zerg vs. Zerg, and the cool thing you can do is just build a roach warren in the wall, and you can even build like 2 or 3 roaches to defend that wall, and most Zergs will believe you. They're like, oh, okay, he's going roaches. And then boom, 8 meters. And it's pretty strong against Ling All-Ins as well, because roaches are pretty good against Zerglings. And you can just start like +1 melee so that they think that it's range. And they'll just assume that you don't have a lair done yet, so you don't have roach beat yet. Although that is the big giveaway, obviously, that you don't have roach speed. Which Lambo is getting roach speed here. So Lambo going 2 gas speed roaches. Oh, speedlings from Serral do get in the base. More underway here, putting on the pressure. Almost killing a drone here. But we do have the roaches, and this is a pretty nice wall here by Lambo, but it's about to get broken by the Zerglings running on in there. We do have plenty of roaches in production here, shooing away Serral's, well, highly mobile army. And double Evo is cancelled. And now we have a bunch of roaches out from Lambo. We see some lings in the main hiding out, but the roaches are privy to that, and they will kill the remaining lings in the main base. Third base is going down, and Lambo going for super fast roaches on 2 base into a third base. The drone count's kind of okay, but he is on 2 gases, which means his mineral income is even lower than Serral's income, although I say that, Serral also has 3 gases now, and he does have a roach warren of his own to defend against the roach attack that might come from Lambo here. We finally do see an Evo chamber coming out. We see more roaches and roaches. Like, just no drones anymore. So this is a pretty big all-in from Lambo, and it's just been revealed to Serral that, indeed, no more drones were made. It's just roaches from here on out. And as I say that, we see a bunch of drones, so this is just a pretty committed attack by Lambo, probably designed to kill a base, and then drone up your own. So will it work? We see the links in the natural, trying to get some damage done here. We see a couple roaches defending, but look at that. So many roaches already present here. Even though Serral does not have roach speed, barely has a lair. It just started up. We do see 3 lings or drones going down from Lambo here. Lambo has a pretty sizable roach army. Like, they are equals in the roach count. But Lambo has speed and Serral doesn't. But can he use that advantage, the speed advantage, and convert it to a different advantage, such as an economical one? Or an army supply advantage by trading out better versus the roaches of Serral? But it seems that on this map, this build doesn't quite work. Or at least not versus Serral, which, you know, nobody is surprised. Serral is pretty good. And Lambo going for a cute follow-up here. Look at the burrow roach movement. Oh, baby. That's gonna be cool. That's what that quick lair gives to Lambo here. We do see Overlord speed coming out from Serral, so he's just going to be spreading out the Overlords all across the map, knowing that we're in for a roach versus roach battle. He wants to make sure that he sees everything, but as soon as, like, Hydras come out or Mutas come out, he wants to make sure that he knows about it. So he has pretty good vision. Now scouting at the 3rd base as well with this Overseer. Sees an additional gas there, but it's only 4 gas. One of the cutest things you can do as a Zerg player is just take your gases willy-nilly. Like, take a few gases in each base, so it's very hard to gauge how many gases you're really on. Because usually, before the gases on the 3rd go down, most people take all of the gases in the natural. And if you just kind of don't do that, suddenly you can hide the fact that you're only on 4 gases, and then you can kind of do a cute all-in. But now the game's stabilized, both at 66 workers, and now we have this roach attack, the Subterranean assault, but there's already an Overseer. Serral super ready for this, very cognizant of the fact that Lambo had that quick lair available to him. And perhaps with the Overseer, he might have seen a couple roaches that already had the spikes. The roaches obviously get these spikes on their carapace when the burrow movement upgrade is done. So if you see that up front, like, you immediately do this. Double Overseer army on, well, cross sections, making sure that there's no run-by path for these burrow roaches. And then you just wait. You know he wants to use it. And it'll just move into your army, and then you get some free kills. And we do see 4th base for both players going down. What is the follow-up? So we see Serral also getting burrow move here, and that's going to be a surprise for Lambo here. But we do see... Oh, 2nd Evo's also down. Nice. Players just super equal here. Wow. I was really expecting Lambo's build to be feast or famine there, but apparently the build's really strong, because Serral really respected the build, and Lambo droned when it mattered. And a couple burrow roaches do get found out. Probably can't run away. But try they will. How many Ravagers do we have? We have 7 Ravagers here to the 3 Ravagers of Serral. 4 Ravagers. Yeah, 4 is the magic number. I think that one-shot's an Overlord, so you want at least 4. Oh my god, he's moving through this tight choke! And now he needs to move back! Oh my god. Look at the concave that Serral had there. Serral got out before things got too rough there. Well, let's look at the upgrade. Serral is also ahead in upgrade, so any fight here probably is going to favor Serral, especially with the defender's advantage. We see a Spire coming out from Lambo as a follow-up, which I love. But we see Grooved Spines. The Hydra range is already coming out for Serral. Oh my god, no, the Ravagers are in the front. So one gets targeted down right away. But now Lambo is slam dunking on Serral's army here. And Lambo's army is a little bit stronger because it has more Ravagers. As you can see, Serral's running away from it, but we do have some Queen's drones coming up the line. Mamma mia! That's a slaughterhouse. 19-20 drones go down, and Serral is in a world of hurt right now. And Lambo moving on to the 3rd base. He's ready to click it down And then when he does that, no more larvae will be coming out. And now, oh, these roaches getting caught from that rally. Lambo's yet to receive any amount of reinforcements, though, and the Serral reinforcements are already here. The Defender's Advantage claims the death of lots of roaches on the side of Lambo, and now he tries to get away, but Ravagers are slower than the speed roaches, so they will eventually get picked off. Oh no. The counterattack here by Serral, keeping all of the reinforcements from Lambo at home. So Serral, wow, with the counterattack, making sure that Lambo was not going to receive any reinforcements, and then pounced on the army that thought that he had a good position. And all of a sudden, the tables have turned, the turns have tabled. And now we do have some Mutalisks here. How many Mutalisks? 7 Mutas? 3 more underway, 10 Mutas. So that is going to be very nice for Lambo. It's going to net him 100% map control. But it's also going to set Serral's army into a frenzy. And Lambo's army supply is very small. And with the +1 armor, +2 armor to come, these mutas are going to take a very long... Aw, poor Ravager. Can't move. No. He died. He was left behind by the Dark Lord. That is Serral. Now, we do have the first couple Hydras coming out. If the mutas can pounce on top of these Hydras, then he can keep the Hydra count very low, and Hydras are expensive. But as you can see, these Hydras are just not dying. +2 armor on these Hydralisks. No upgrades on the mutas at all. Now, we do get some nice drone pickoffs, but... Wow, Lambo actually 50 drones to the 32 of Serral. If he can just produce more units here, he should be good. What a scrappy game all of a sudden. Both players bloodying the nose of the other one. And 4th base almost completed for Lambo again. Serral does have all of his bases up, but barely any drones to mine at them. But Serral's upgrades are pretty nice. 2-2. Hydra Roach army. And Serral is shooting up in that army supply, and a bunch of Lambo's army supply is in muta, so a straight up fight does not favor Lambo just yet. Oh no, the mutas fly into the Hydralisk, and almost half the mutas just die there for free. But the mutas are keeping some of the Hydras back, trying to defend the bases. And is Serral going to respond to that? Really, oh, the muta count is just too low to really threaten this base. Like, imagine double the muta count here. Suddenly a bunch more Hydras have to be peeled off the main army. But now the main army comes into this choke, and Lambo is ready for it. Couple Ravagers ready to put down Biles there. Of course, they will get maximum damage if they do land, because units will be super clumped up. And here comes another Subterranean assault from these roaches, which is, of course, pretty hard to deal with if you're behind in army supply already. And this one spine is trying to defend the drones and the queen, but can't do so. Lambo a little bit supply blocked, making 4 overlords. And he has the money to max out, but he doesn't have the supply right now. Sacking the 3rd base. And trying to do a counterattack with the Burrow Roaches, or is he going for a flank? The rocks are being chased down, but now the whole army of Serral is collapsing on half the army of Lambo. The stragglers do come in now, but Serral's army is just bigger with the Hydras. But we do have a bunch of Ravagers here. Oh my god, I think Serral... Yeah, Serral just has a little bit too much, too high of an army count together with a very convincing upgrade lead. Like, that one Carapace really matters, especially versus high DPS units such as the Ravager and the Hydralisk. And any Zerglings that you might make as well. So, wow. Serral takes the first game, but Lambo really kicking here. And Serral takes the first game of this best of 5. And Lambo, I want to focus on Lambo. Like, he showed us a very cute build that skipped the 2nd Overlord and went for a faster hatchery. Now, the advantage there is that you have the hatchery earlier, which means you can inject it earlier and it will give you larvae earlier. Now, why is that significant? Because when you 2-base, like Lambo did, the big bottleneck that you have is your larva production is so low compared to a 3-base economy of Zerg. So if you just get that 2nd hatchery way earlier, suddenly your 2-base build gets a little extra oomph because of that larva that you usually did not have in the older 2-base builds. So I think that's really cool. Like when I used to play a lot back in the day, like I used to do 2-base builds with just, you know, 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool. And then you just drone to like 22 before you make any lings, just trying to sneak out as many drones, be as greedy as possible. But this would be like an extra layer of greedy. So I really enjoyed that build, seeing that spice come out of Lambo here. And I'm glad that he came to this series to play. Really trying to catch Serral off guard there with a nice, well, out-of-pocket strategy, right? It's not just stock standard stuff. Both players scouting from each other and that they are both hatch firsting without any shenaniganry. Lambo even going so far as to check the drone count, making sure that the larvae are being spent. Where Serral just kind of believed it. Like, it will be fine. Lambo keeping 2 in gas. Serral doing the same. So it's slightly more economical, but it still helps you pace out your tech, get a pretty quick baneling nest if you need it, afford upgrades if you want them. It's not like the other matchups versus Terran and Protoss, where you just pull out a gas completely and focus on your droning. Because if the other Zerg just goes Ling Bane, and you don't have any gas units, you're done. Gasless is hasn't been a thing since Peninsula, basically. Now we see baneling nest coming out from both players here, so that's the safety net. As soon as speed is done, and you don't want to invest in a lot of speedlings yourself, you get banelings. Because otherwise the Zerg player can, your opposing Zerg player can do 1 round of larva into lings, and don't show him, which means you are probably making drones, and then he does another round, and then he moves out, and then you can only make 1 round of lings to counter it. Because you'll only see it when it leaves his base. And because speedlings are so fast, you will always lose. But if you see them move out and you make a couple banelings, suddenly you can actually defend a ling flood. Which is why skipping the baneling nest is almost impossible. You can make a roach warren instead of a baneling nest. But most players nowadays with the stock standard ZVZ builds are making the baneling nest. And then it's a pure stylistic choice and map dependent as well. If you go for this pressure, or you can even go all in off of it, or make it no lings at all. Like, it just depends on how confident you're feeling, how you think the map plays out for you. I don't know, and just your temperament of the day. Okay, no big baneling hits so far. We see a little bit of skirmishing. We do see Roach Warren coming out from Lambo once again. But the Roach Warren for Serral's already done, and he's making Roaches and Banes. Lambo and Serral are pretty equal on the drones right now, though. So interesting to see that Lambo has a slightly slower Roach Warren. But it isn't going to really bite him in the ass. We do see a quicker lair from Lambo once again. When compared to Serral, we see an Evo chamber going down. Queen in the wall, making sure that she does her best Zealot impression. One baneling out all night to get lucky. But doesn't find a big connection that he's dreaming of. We do see a couple roaches out now from Serral. And 7 underway by Lambo here. We also see a bunch of spines coming down. 1 per mineral line. And ooh, Lambo shoots up in the drone count actually. 40 to 30. So this might be why he's making these spines, thinking that he might get attacked. But Serral actually moving back with these roaches. So these roaches were going across the map. Lambo probably saw that, and he made the spines, preparing for an all-out assault from Serral. But Serral decided to make 10 drones instead of a bunch more Zerglings. Do see Lair coming out again from Lambo. He actually cancelled it. He was really afraid of what might come. Now we do see 5 gas in total for Lambo, which signals lots and lots of roaches for us. Also, no lair means probably no spire. anytime soon. So somehow, some way... Wait, the Lair of Serral just started. Oh my god, I thought he started it earlier as well. Couple lings running into the natural here, getting the scouting done. +1 is under construction here for Serral. 2 drones do go down in the main base, but Lambo does have a 4th base. Serral does not. Serral does have 6 gases here, though. And now the 6th one has been added on for Lambo as well. Dude, these guys are so fast. Like, all their decisions go a little bit too fast for the old man over here. Now, +1 on both sides. Pretty equal. Like, they followed 2 different paths, but they both led to Rome. Or at least they both led to having +1 speed roaches. Overlord speed on both sides as well, just like Serral did in the first game. We do have a lair now. We have a Dropper Lord as well. Dropper Lord on the opposing side as well. Both going for a roach drop. Very cool. You can also do a Baneling drop, of course, if you still have some Banelings left. Oh, and the speed overlords from Serral find out that there are some Lingbane chilling out there. And here comes the Overlord, ready to pick up these 4 Banelings. And then Speed Overseer scouts everything that Serral has to hide, which is nothing much. We do see an Infestation Pit and a Hydra Den coming down from Lambo here. So perhaps wants to transition into that Hydra Lurker Viper style, which is very cool. And Lambo's Overlord does get warded away really quickly. Wow, super fast Hive, actually. So that can be for super fast Lurkers, especially because he has the Hydralisk Den. I like it, though, when people go for the Vipers. Like, you just go Roach, Ravager, Viper, and then you only make inexpensive units, basically, and then your opponent's like, I'm gonna make some expensive units. I'm gonna make some Lurkers, and you just yoink him out of the ground. You're like, I'm not making those. Now, we do see super fast Lurker Den. And how is Serral going to respond? He's getting an Infestation Pit of his own, because he will need Vipers if your opponent has Lurkers. Lingbane run by here, or it was just Lings run by into the natural. Doesn't get anything done, though. We do see another Burrow Roach move from Serral here, getting Burrow and Burrow movement on the Roaches. You see a fight here at the 4th base. Both players have +1. 1 extra Ravager for Serral, but a lot more Roaches present here for Lambo. And make sure that Serral gets out of there. Not chasing, though. Is afraid that if there's too many reinforcements, all of a sudden Lambo could be in some trouble. Also, Lambo's just investing all of his money into this Lurker transition. So if he chases and suddenly needs to reinforce his army because he overstepped, he's in for a world of hurt. Now, Burrow Roaches did make their way into the main base. Got 6 drone kills here. We do see Lurker range coming out. Hive halfway done for Serral. Now we see skirmishes all over the map, but the big fight is happening at the 4th base, and Lambo thinned out his army a little bit too much, splitting up his army into 3 pieces, and Serral now jumps on him, trying to punish here for that Lurker transition. 10 Hydras in production, but they're not here at the fight. So Serral's getting a pretty good trade. Also has +1 Carapace that Lambo does not have. And 23 drones have died because there's Lurkers in the 3rd, Lurkers in the natural, Lurkers in the main. And with a quick 1, 2, 3, 4 punch, because there were a lot of moves there, Serral takes down the economy of Lambo and punishes the fact that Lambo is investing in a Lurker transition and being rather passive. And now the 4th base is also in peril. Lambo can't start bleeding more bases and more units, but he has to give up the 4th base. And no counter-aggression is coming towards Serral here. And of course, he wants to put the pedal to the metal, because if Serral keeps attacking, this Lurker transition becomes slower. And then the Lurkers also have to stay at home, because they are siege units, kind of like siege tanks. And then he has time to get these Vipers out. And as soon as the Vipers are out, he can either continue his assault or fall back and get his own Lurkers out. it's really up to Serral at that point. But look at Serral's supply, dude. It's mostly in art, or the difference is mostly in workers, though. So if Lambo manages to max out here, maybe. But that's a pretty big maybe. We got +2 carapace almost completed. That's going to be a +2 upgrade lead. And also +3 underway for Serral. Lambo in dire straits here. We see more roaches coming out. And even the third base isn't even saturated. Oh my god. And this small pack of roaches is pulling back like half, or should be pulling back half Lambo's army. Instead, it's just the reinforcements, which are not very plentiful. 12 more drones just died. And I don't know if Lambo can do this. He is going for a lurker siege on the 5th base here, trying to move into the 4th base as well. Now the big yoinks come out from the Vipers there, and 4 lurkers just like that, completely dead. Immediate burrow from Serral to heal up all of his roaches again that did get hit by the big splash from this lurker count. We see 5 more lurkers, 6 more lurkers. And the lurkers are going forward here. Lambo knows that he is in a very troublesome position. Nice blinding cloud on top of the lurkers. They don't get re-burrowed because Lambo had to pay attention to his army at the right there, getting caught. Nice drag on the single roach, going for a ride, but the lurker count has been shrunk to absolutely 0. And the upgrade lead and the economical lead bursts Serral into a big advantage, and he just overwhelms Lambo's final ditch effort attack, and Serral takes the 2nd game in this best of 5. And we're here, game number 3, Lambo versus Serral. Or an Alycone, which is the gold one. The one with the gold bases. And Lambo is going for it. So, Serral really acting like the unstoppable force in this series. And Lambo is trying to punch his way through the wall, but unsuccessful so far. And as expected, like, Serral just ignores the map. Almost completely. It's like, oh, I'm just taking a normal natural, not taking any risks. I am the GOAT after all. I'm just a better player. Which is crazy, because Lambo is effing good. He's so good. And Lambo has now a 3rd opportunity, and perhaps his last opportunity, to crack the wall. Siege Ba Sing Se. And he's taking a gold base in an attempt to do so. So we see gold base with standard 18 gas, 17 pool, where Serral is doing the most standard build you'll ever see. And let's see, Serral does not know anything yet. He won't know until he reaches the natural of Lambo that something is up. 7 drones going out. And will saturate that gold base ASAP. Perhaps one of them is to make a gas? This is not a rich geyser, though, so I don't expect that. Naturals up for Serral. Just mining up to the speed. To that 100 gas, and uh-oh. Serral's like, hello? There's no hatchery here at all. And so he knows that there's probably going to be a base over here, which this 2nd Overlord will try to see. Let's see what Serral's response is. He does keep in gas in an immediate bailing nest from Serral, so he's actually going on to the offense. Here, going to actively punish this gold base. Lambo going for a pretty quick 3rd base here. And if Lambo can hold this, this is going to be a very nice position for him. Now, we do see an Overlord here that Serral can't see. So, I mean, Serral has to assume that, or Lambo has to assume that Serral knows. And Serral pooling lings here. And this could be very rough for Lambo. He does have 2 Overlords here, so he will know when these lings move out. But 20 more underway, speed about to finish. We need to see a lot of defenses being built up here by Lambo ASAP. And here come the Zerglings. Lambo sees them coming now. And he just fired up 7 drones. Oh no. This might just end really quickly. One spine crawler is being built. The roach warren is not quite done yet. The rocks not cleared away by Lambo, but will be cleared away by Serral. Banelings come in from the side, and the gold base is being overrun straight away. Oh my god, all of these lings got hit by the banelings. More banelings onto the drones, and the drones are dead. 11 drones do die. The gold base does die. And now Lambo is back in the Stone Age when it's his economy concerned. Another queen does go down. Oh my god, dude, I'm at loss for words. This active punish of the gold base was just swift and fierce. Cold-blooded killer mode here from Serral. He punches his way into the round of 4 as Lambo slowly but surely loses more workers, loses more of his army units, and only his drones are left. And they get blown up by 2 banelings. And just like that. Wow, that was fast. Serral takes this series 3-0. But that doesn't tell the whole story. I think the first, especially the first game, was super competitive. The second game was cool. Like, it was pretty competitive up until a point where Serral just executed. And then this third game, I think Lambo came to the table with a plan, but Serral just threw the whole kitchen sink at him. Like, he just toppled the table over right away. And just like that, Serral wins the best of 5. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this cast. Be sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers.